How about trace minerals and major mineral absorption? What are trace minerals for in the layman's terms to make it as easy as possible to understand?
They're helpers.
Okay.
They do provide some what we call elemental or physical benefits, but their main role is at what we call catalysts or helpers. They are needed to create the pathways for other chemical reactions to take place.
Got it. Yeah, and that's what you were saying. They're the catalyst.
They're helpers, yeah.
So what would you say that supplementation should begin with trace minerals, but not end there?
Absolutely.
Because you need the full spectrum with the trace minerals.
Yep. And remember that the trace elements are the largest group of nutrients. There's at least 55, at least. And some of them you would recognize by name, most of them you would not. Because they're just, unless you're a chemistry student. I mean, if you have a chart with a periodic table of the elements, they'd all be on there. But most people have never even seen one, at least not since high school. But they're all playing catalyst roles in various chemical equations. And because of that, I believe they should be the foundation of a good nutrition program. For example, vitamins do all kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
A whole list of things that vitamins do, their function. At least half of those cannot efficiently take place without catalysts of trace minerals. So you can pop a vitamin pill, but unless you're getting the trace elements either with it or separately, you're not going to get the maximum benefit from the vitamin supplement. Yeah. Because the catalysts or those helpers that are required to do that job are missing.
And that's the problem with incomplete multivitamin formulas.
That's the biggest problem. I mean, if you can imagine a chemical equation, if you go back to your school days, all those funny little letters and lines and more letters.
Yeah.
If you just pull one letter out,
yes,
you've got a problem. And that one letter might be strontium in the case of calcium. It might be aluminum. Here's one. That's one nobody talks about. Everybody talks about
every time
aluminum.
you hear aluminum, you hear negative.
Oh, panic, you know, because it's toxic. Organic aluminum is not only not toxic, but it has biological benefit. It helps with the immune function.
Yeah.
But it's got to be from plant sources because the plant changes the structure of these minerals from elemental to bioavailable.
That's super interesting. So somebody who wants to embark on this, they need to look for a plant-based, pure colloidal trace mineral.
Yep.
Is the best place to start.
Yep. You want to have it from organic sources. You obviously want to have it colloidal. Colloidal refers to the particle size.
Small.
And keep in mind, the smaller, this is a weird thing, but the smaller the particle, the smaller the object, the greater the surface around it. And you would think it would be the opposite. Obviously, something large would have a greater surface. But I'll show you an example. Let's take a basketball, okay? And you measure the surface all around the basketball, and you come up with a figure.
No.
Now let's fill that basketball to the brim with marbles.
Okay.
Now let's measure the surface around each marble times 300 marbles.
Oh, I see.
So the smaller the particle, the greater the surface. The greater the surface, the more absorption you get at the cellular level.
Boom.